everyone can see me okay. I've lost my clicker already. How's it gone? Oh, there you can tell we're organised. Very good. Ooh. Everything's going wrong already. Cool. Well, I hope you can all see everything okay. Hopefully there's a few of you joining us. It looks like there are some online, all being well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the quiz this evening. We're hoping that this will go on for the next couple of weeks. Just a fun hour or so for you and your family to take part in. All being well, we're going to have 6 rounds this evening if we've got time. So the way it'll work is questions will come up on the screen, but as well I'll read them out. Depending whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you'll be able to see them a bit closer up on YouTube. But I'll read them out twice and make sure that I speak clearly. And we're hoping it will be done by about 7:45 at the latest. If we have any, if it looks like it's going to run longer than that, then we'll cut out a round or something like that. We'll just see how we go on. So the first round tonight is general knowledge. So what we've done is we've made these first 3 rounds a little bit easier because we're hoping that kind of all the family will join in. So these first 3 rounds are questions that hopefully the vast majority of people will be able to answer. And then rounds 4 to 6 we've tried to make them a little bit harder. Of course it's always difficult in how you pitch a quiz, where you put it, the level you put it at. So hopefully for those of you watching, it's not too easy and it's not too hard. But please give us feedback after the quiz is finished this week. If you found it far too easy or far too hard, then do let us know and we'll make sure that we change things for next week. So we'll get going with the first round. So first question. The first speeding fine was imposed on a British motorist in 1896 for going how many miles per hour over the speeding limit? Was it A, 17 miles an hour, B, 6 miles an hour, C, 2 miles an hour, or D, there wasn't actually even a speed limit? So question 1. The first speeding fine was imposed on a British motorist in 1896 for going how many miles an hour over the speed limit? A, 17 miles an hour, B, 6 miles an hour, C, 2 miles an hour, or D, there wasn't actually a speed limit? I'll give you a moment to answer that. Also, just to say, please do make use of the live chat feature on both Facebook Live and YouTube Live. If you've got any questions, any problems, please do just shout out and we'll try and answer them. And if you don't have a Facebook account or YouTube account, then just get in touch via the Crown Lane WhatsApp group or my or Adrian's mobile, and we'll try our best to deal with your query. So moving on to question 2. What type of pastry is used to make profiteroles? Is it A, short crust pastry, B, phyllo pastry, C, puff pastry, or D, choux pastry? So question 2, what type of pastry is used to make profiteroles? A, short crust pastry, B, phyllo pastry, C, puff pastry, or D, choux pastry? Again, I'll give you a moment to answer that. Question number 3. What type of clothing is a Glengarry? Is it A, a hat? Is it B, a scarf? Is it C, socks? Or is it D, a coat? So what type of clothing is a Glengarry? A, hat, B, scarf, C, socks, or D, coat? check the chats. Okay. Right, moving on to question number 4. An SD card is a memory card used in many portable devices. What does SD stand for? Is it A, super device, B, storage device, C, secure digital, or D, silver drive? So an SD card is a memory card used in many portable devices. What does SD stand for? A, super device, B, storage device, C, secure digital, or D, silver drive? Moving on, question number 5. The medical condition CHD stands for coronary heart what? Is it A, death, B, dehydration, C, disease, or D, destruction? So the medical condition CHD stands for coronary heart what? A, death, B, dehydration, C, disease, or D, destruction? Okay. Question number 6. Imar Quinn won the 1996 Eurovision Song Contest representing which country? Was it A, the Republic of Ireland, B, Norway, C, Sweden, or D, Germany? So Imar Quinn won the 1996 Eurovision Song Contest representing which country? Republic of Ireland, Norway, Sweden, or Germany? I'll give you a moment to answer that. Question number 7. Which British band released the album A Rush of Blood to the Head in 2002? Was it A, Take That? Was it B, Coldplay? Was it C, Blue? Or was it D, Westlife? So which British band released the album A Rush of Blood to the Head in 2002? A, Take That, B, Coldplay, C, Blue, or D, Westlife? Give you a moment to answer that. Question number 8. What is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world? Is it A, Pepsi? Is it B, Coca-Cola? Is it C, tea? Or is it D, coffee? So what is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world? A, Pepsi, B, Coca-Cola, C, tea, or D, coffee? Question number 9. What would you commonly use ethylene glycol in a car for? A, coolant, B, antifreeze, C, screen wash, or D, brake fluid? So what would you commonly use, ethylene glycol in a car for? A, coolant, B, antifreeze, C, screen wash, or D, brake fluid? A moment there again. And question number 10. Which country has the world's longest coastline? Is it A, South Africa, Is it B, the USA? Is it C, Brazil? Or is it D, Canada? So which country has the world's longest coastline? A, South Africa, B, USA, C, Brazil, or D, Canada? I'll give you a moment there. And that brings us to the end of round 1. So you should have 10 answers there, hopefully. And moving on to round number 2. And this round is general sport. So, question number 1. What is the national sport of Japan? Is it A, chess, B, sumo wrestling, C, kung fu, or D, karate? So what is the national sport of Japan? A, chess, B, sumo wrestling, C, kung fu, or D, karate? Give you a moment there. Question number 2. In what country was the first Olympic Games held? Was it A, Italy, B, France, C, Greece, or D, Spain? In what country were the first Olympic Games held? A, Italy, B, France, C, Greece, or D, Spain? Question number 3. How many players are on each side of the net in beach volleyball? Is it A, 6? Is it B, 7? Is it C, 3? Or is it D, 2? So how many players are on each side of the net in beach volleyball? A, 6, B, 7, C, 3, or D, 2? Okay, question number 4. In which country is the Interlagos F1 circuit? Is it A, Brazil? Is it B, Argentina? Is it C, Ecuador? Or is it D, Spain? So in which country is the Interlagos F1 circuit? A, Brazil, B, Argentina, C, Ecuador, or D, Spain? Oops, kicking the telly over. Question number 5. Which popular fitness method was invented by a German? Was it A, yoga, B, Pilates, C, Zumba, or D, spin classes? So which popular fitness method was invented by a German? A, yoga, B, Pilates, C, Zumba, or D, spin classes? Okay, moving on to question number 6. Which team did Fernando Alonso win his first title in Formula One with? Was it A, McLaren, B, Ferrari, C, Renault, or D, Minardi? So which team did Fernando Alonso win his first title in Formula One with? A, McLaren, B, Ferrari, C, Renault, or D, Minardi? Question number 7. How many players has a hockey team got on the ice? A, 5, B, 6, C, 7, or D, 8? So how many players has a hockey team got on the ice? A, 5, B, 6, C, 7, or D, 8? Moving on to question number 8. Which Olympic Games were bombed in a terror attack? Was it A, the 1992 Barcelona Games, B, the 1996 Atlanta Games, C, the 2000 Sydney Games, or D, the 1984 Los Angeles Games? So which Olympic Games were bombed in a terror attack? A, the 1992 Barcelona Games, B, the 1996 Atlanta Games, C, the 2000 Sydney Games, or D, the 1984 Los Angeles Games? Give you a moment there. So question number 9, and this you can get up to 2 points for this question. So first of all, which of the 4 major tennis tournaments did Fred Perry first win? And you also get a bonus point if you can name the year in which he won it. So was it at Wimbledon, at B, the French Open, C, the US Open, or D, the Australian Open? So which of the 4 major tennis tournaments did Fred Perry win first? And a bonus point if you can name the year. So A, Wimbledon, B, the French Open, C, the US Open, or D, the Australian Open? I'll give you a moment there. Try your best to cast your mind back. Okay, moving on to round number 3, the catchphrase round. So in this round, there are going to be 11 different catchphrases, and the objective is to guess who said the catchphrase and what TV show or film it is said on, if it is said on a TV show or film. So for the first 7, you need to get both the person that says it and the TV show to get a mark. And then for phrases 8 to 11, you get 1 mark for guessing the person and 1 mark for guessing the TV program or film it is from, because those later ones are a little bit more difficult. So an example for you here. The catchphrase is "This is Sparta," and so if you were to then say for your answer King Leonidas from the film 300, you'd get the point. So hopefully that makes sense, but you'll pick it up as we go along if not. So question number 1, catchphrase number 1. You are the weakest link, goodbye. Who said that, and is it from a TV show? So you are the weakest link, goodbye. So see if you can remember your TV shows and your films that you've watched over the years. So you are the weakest link, goodbye. What? Who is that from? Where is it from? Remember, you need to get both to get the mark. Question number 2. Who says this? What programme is it from? The Chase is on. The Chase is on. Where is that from? Give you a moment to think about that. Okay. Catchphrase number 3. Nice to see you nice. Who says that? And is it from a TV show? Nice to see you nice. Where is that from and who says that? Nice to see you nice. Catchphrase number 4. Lovely jubbly. Who says that? And is it from a TV show? Is it from a film? Lovely jubbly. So where is that from and who says it? Catchphrase number 5. Don't panic. Who says that? Is it from a TV show? Is it from a film? Don't panic. Who is it? I'll give you a moment to think about that. Catchphrase number 6. During the war. Who says that? Is it from a TV show? During the war. Question number 7, catchphrase number 7. And that's the way it is. Who says that? Is it from a TV show? Is it from a film? And that's the way it is. Question number 8. Okay, now from question number 8 onwards, you get a mark for guessing the person, and you get a mark for guessing the TV show or film that this saying is from. So question number 8, catchphrase number 8. A real Bobby Dazzler. Who says that? And what is that from? So a real Bobby Dazzler. Let's have a think. Question number 9. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Who says that? Where is it from? Have a think. So it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Catchphrase number 10. I don't believe it. Who says that? And what is it from? So I don't believe it. So think. See who it is. And finally for that round, question number 11. You talking to me? Who says that? And where is it from? So, you talking to me? Where is that from? And who says it? I'll give you a moment to think about that. Okay. Well, as well as doing this quiz every week, we're also going to have a short message in the middle of each quiz, because it's been a long time since we've been able to meet together and see many of you guys who are taking part. So people from the church who are involved with some of our youth groups or adventurers, maybe mothers and toddlers, they're going to put together a short video message, and we're going to play that every week. So it's just a familiar face for you to see. But I'm going to play the first one now. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me again tonight, but we'll play this message and then we'll move on to the next round of the quiz. yourselves. That'd be a start, wouldn't it? These times are concerning, confusing, worrying, and scary. We just don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. However, I just want to share with you for a few moments about a hope that we can all have that helps bring peace in these troubled times. I want to show you this by sharing with you a parable from the Bible, from the book of Matthew. A parable was a way Jesus told people a story that had a certain meaning. This parable from Matthew is entitled The Wise and the Foolish Builders. And the verses will come up on the screen now. And they say, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the wind blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." So, allow me to demonstrate. Here I have a house built on the sand, and here I have a house built on the rock. The troubles of life come, the confusion, the panic, the worry, the excess toilet roll buying. People are scared. People are worried. Nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring. Coronavirus is a silent enemy. We don't know when we might get it. That uncertainty is scary. The troubles of life is demonstrated by a terrible storm in the parable. The wind and the rain comes, blowing against the house. These are the worries of life. A life built on the sand. When the worries of life come, it doesn't stand. It doesn't have a strong foundation. The house falls. The worries of life can overtake all our thoughts and our actions, and the house eventually falls. In the parable, Jesus talks of a house built on the rock. When the rain and the wind comes, when the worries of life comes, that house stands firm. It doesn't fall. The rock on which his house is built keeps that house standing. In this parable, the rock means Jesus. A life built on Jesus helps us through the worries of life. It doesn't mean we don't have worries or aren't scared by all that is going on in this world. But we have Jesus with us to help us, to guide us, and to comfort us in these tricky times. It says in the Bible that there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. It also says in the Bible that God will never leave us nor forsake us. God will never abandon us. Despite all that is going on at this time, I have a peace. I am calm about the situation. This is nothing of me. That is all from God. It talks in the Bible about peace that surpasses all understanding. That is from Jesus. Jesus gives us a hope for tomorrow, that whatever happens in life, whatever the worries of life, He will give us hope. He will give us peace. It says in the Bible to cast all your cares on Him because He cares for you. He cares for you. He cares for me and for you, for each and every one of us. How about you? Are you able to do that? Can you cast your cares upon Jesus? Knowing Jesus doesn't mean the troubles of life won't come. It doesn't mean that I'm not concerned about coronavirus. You will still have bad days. But having Jesus by your side in times like this is such a blessing. He brings such a peace to your life. Consider that today, in these times. Do you know Jesus? Do you know the peace that he can bring? If not, why not? Knowing Jesus in times like this is such a blessing. Consider that today. Take a few moments to consider Jesus. Please do ask any questions you might have, because I will happily answer them. Thanks and goodbye. Right, answer time. So what we'll do is we'll just fly through these first 3 rounds and go through the answers for them. And then we'll move on to the following 3 rounds. How are we doing time? Not too bad time. So, round number 1, general knowledge. So the first question, the first speeding fine was imposed on a British motorist in 1896. We're going how many miles an hour over the speed limit? They were going 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. Wouldn't that be frustrating? So they were going 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. Question number 2. Which type of pastry is used to make profiteroles? It is, of course, choux pastry. Choux pastry. Question number 3. What type of clothing is a Glengarry? Is it... no, I'm not asking the question, I'm telling you the answer. The answer is a hat. So a Glengarry is a hat. Just a reminder as well, if you've got any problems with the sound or with the questions or anything like that, do just shout out, put a message on one of the chats or send a WhatsApp message, and we'll try and rectify that. Question number 4. An SD card stands for Secure Digital. So Secure Digital is the right answer. Question number 5. Coronary heart what? It is, of course, coronary heart disease. So C, disease, is a correct answer. Question number 6. Imar Quinn represented the Republic of Ireland in the Eurovision Song Contest in 1996. Question number 7. Which British band released the album A Rush of Blood to the Head in 2002? That was Coldplay. So B, Coldplay. Question number 8. The most consumed manufactured drink in the world is tea. So C, tea. And question number 9. What would you commonly use ethylene glycol for in a car? You would use it as an antifreeze. So B, antifreeze. And question 10. Which country has the world's longest coastline? It is D, Canada. D, Canada. So that's the end of round 1. That is out of 10. So I hope that's all gone smoothly. Round number 2, the answers for round number 2. So question number 1, the national sport of Japan is sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling B. Question number 2, the first Olympic Games were held in Greece. C, Greece. Question 3, how many players are on each side of the net in beach volleyball? It is 2. D, 2. Question number 4. Interlagos F1 circuit is in which country? It is in A, Brazil. Interlagos is in Brazil. Question number 5. Which popular fitness method was invented by a German? It was B, Pilates. Pilates was invented by a German. Question number 6. Fernando Alonso won his first Formula 1 title with C, Renault, or Renault, however you like to pronounce it correctly. Question 7. How many players has an ice hockey team got on the ice? They have 6. B, 6. Question 8. What Olympic Games were bombed in a terror attack? It was the 1996 Atlanta Games. So that's answer B, the 1996 Atlanta Games. Question 9. Which of the 4 major tennis tournaments did Fred Perry win first? He won the US Open first, so you get a point if you've got the US Open, and then you get a bonus point if you manage to get the year in which he won it, which was in 1933. So a point for the US Open and a point for 1933. So that round is also out of 10. Moving on to round number 3, the catchphrase round. So catchphrase number 1, you are the weakest link, goodbye. That was from Anne Robinson and the weakest link. So remember, you need to get Anne Robinson and the weakest link to get the point. I'm afraid there's no, to keep things simple, there are no half points. If you get one but not the other, I'm afraid you can't get the mark. Question number 2. The chase is on is from Bradley Walsh and the chase. So again, you need both to get the points. Catchphrase number 3. Nice to see you nice is of course Bruce Forsyth and the Generation Game. I think he did say it on Strictly Come Dancing. So if you put Strictly Come Dancing, I'll be kind and I'll let you get the mark for that too. So Bruce Forsyth, the Generation Game, or Strictly Come Dancing, because I'm feeling generous. Catchphrase number 4, Lovely Jubbly, is of course from Del Boy in Only Fools and Horses. So Lovely Jubbly, Del Boy, Only Fools and Horses. Question number 5, catchphrase number 5, Don't Panic, is from Corporal Jones and Dad's Army. Number 6, During the War, is of course from Uncle Albert, and that's from Only Fools and Horses again. Question number 7, and That's the Way It Is from Walter Cronkite and CBS News, the very famous news anchor. So Walter Cronkite and CBS News. Okay. So now a slight change from question 8. If you get the person that says it, you get a mark. And if you get the programme, you also get a mark. So, A Real Bobby Dazzler is from David Dickinson. And if you put either Bargain Hunt or Dickinson's Real Deal, you get a point. So you get a point for David Dickinson and a point for the programme. Question 9. It's Good Night from Me and It's Good Night from Him is of course from Ronnie Barker and Ronnie Corbett and their programme, The Two Ronnies. So you need both Ronnie Barker and Ronnie Corbett to get the mark and two Ronnies to get the mark. And question number 10, catchphrase number 10, I Don't Believe It. That is of course from Victor Meldrew and One Foot in the Grave. One Foot in the Grave. You're looking confused.
What have you got the actor?
If you get the actor, then we'll let you have a point as well. So I don't think any of the others have been like that. And then final one, question 11, You Talking to Me is from the film Taxi Driver, and character name is Travis Bickle, or of course the actor is Robert De Niro. So if you get Travis Bickle or Robert De Niro, you get 1 mark, and if you get Taxi Driver, you get a 2nd mark. Okay, moving on to the next rounds. Round number 4. So this is a food round. So you're going to see a picture of some sort of food, and you kind of have to guess what it is or where it's from or something like that. So number 1, what food is this? So this is quite an easy one to start with. What food is this? Give you a moment to guess what it is. Question number 2, what food is this? What do you think this is? Question number 3, this dish is called feijoada, I think. Which country is this a national dish of? So this dish is called a feijoada, I think. Something along those lines anyway. So what country do you think it is a national dish of? Question number 4. This dish is called chef Talia. Which country is this the national dish of? Very tasty, very nice. So what country is it the national dish of? Chef Talia. Question number 5. This is a well-known dish in Liverpool. What is it called? Quite a simple one, that one, I think. A bit easier than some of the others. Question 6. This is pelmeni. Which country is it from? So which country would you go to and find pelmeni? Question 7. This dish is from Japan. What is its name? What is this dish called? So what is this dish called? A moment with that one. Question number 8. What is the name of this well-known dish? So this is a dish there. What is that dish's name? And question number 9. This is called hakal. It is from Iceland. What is it? So it's these chunks here. It's called hakal. And what is it? Doesn't look all that appetising. But who knows, it might be very tasty. And I think we'll move on to question 10. Give you a moment to answer this one. Question 10. This taco is the most expensive food item you can buy in the world. How much do you think you would pay for it? Now I will give you a margin of error, but I'm not going to tell you it, because if I tell you it, it makes it much easier to guess the cost. But this is according to Google, so please don't come complaining if you know something that is more expensive. But this is apparently, this taco is the most expensive food item you can buy in the world. So how much do you think you will pay for it? Give you a moment there. Right, we'll move on to round 5. This round is called the missing link. So basically, you'll be given you'll be shown 2 pictures like this, and you've got to try and work out what the link is. So there's a link between these 2 pictures, basically. So with this one, you've got the coin and you've got this man. So what is the answer? Is of course the link is their name. So that is a Frank, and that is Frank Sinatra. So hopefully you'll pick it up as we go along and you'll sort of work out how it works. So the first one, what is the link between these 2 guys? What is the link? Give you a moment to think about their link. Maybe that rhymes. What is the link between these 2? Moving on to number 2. What is the link between these 2? What do you think the link is? So there is a link between these 2. What do you think it is? Number 3. Yep, there we go. What is the link between these 2? What is the link between these 2? So who knows what the link is? Again, just a reminder, if you've got any problems or any questions or need any help, obviously not with the answers, but if you need any help, then just shout, whether on the Facebook chat, the YouTube chat, or by WhatsApp, or ringing us or whatever. We'll try our best to help you. So I believe this is number 4. What is the link between these 2? What is the link? You got it? So what is the link between these 2? Moving on to number 5. What is the link between these 2 pictures? I promise you there is a link. See if you can get it. There is some form of a link between them. I promise you. So let's see if you can guess that one. Guess what the link is. Number 6. What is the link between this man and this cat? What is the link? man and the animal. What is that link? Moving on to what number are we on? 6, 7. Moving on to number 7, I believe. What is the link between these two? There is a link. What is it? Give you a moment to think about it. Okay. Number 7. What is the link between these two men? There is a link. This is possibly quite an obscure link. I should say potentially obscure people with a link between them. So this is quite a difficult one, but we'll see how you go. Number 9. What is the link between this book and this character? What is the link? This one's a little bit of an easier one than the last one. Number 10 and the final one from this round. What is the link between these two men? There's a link between them, but what is it? Okay, so we're doing all right for time, aren't we? So I think we'll be able to fit round 6 in. So, moving on to round 6. And this is another general knowledge round, but it's a little bit more of a difficult one, I think. So, question number 1. Tom Cruise plays Ethan Hunt in which movie franchise? Is it A, Bourne? Is it B, Mission Impossible? Is it C, Taken? Or is it D, Avengers? So Tom Cruise plays Ethan Hunt in which movie franchise? A, Bourne, B, Mission Impossible, C, Taken, or D, Avengers? Give you a moment there. Question 2. Which Irish comedian and actor starred opposite Richard Ayoade in The IT Crowd? Is it A, Chris O'Dowd? Is it B, Tommy Tiernan? Is it C, Dermot Morgan? Or is it D, Joanne McNally? So which Irish comedian and actor starred opposite Richard Ayoade in The IT Crowd? A, Chris O'Dowd, B, Tommy Tiernan, C, Dermot Morgan, or D, Joanne McNally? Give you a moment to think. Oh, we're doing well. I think I've stumped Adrian with this one. Oh no, he's got it. Oh, I thought I'd stumped him. Right, question number 3. The phrase, let them eat cake, is often wrongly attributed to which Queen of France? See if we can get my words out. The phrase, let them eat cake, is often wrongly attributed to which Queen of France? Is it A, Empress Eugenie, B, Marie Antoinette, C, Maria Theresa of Spain, or D, Anne of Austria? So let them eat cake. Who is it wrongly attributed to? A, Empress Eugenie, B, Marie Antoinette, C. Maria Theresa of Spain, or D. Anne of Austria? It has been pointed out by Adrian at the bottom two haven't got France in their name, but I do believe that they have something to do with France. I hope. Well, this whole quiz is going to pot. Google has lied to me. So we'll see. Question number 4. What is the most common name of British monarchs? Is it A. Henry, B. Edward, C. George, or D. Charles? So which is the most common name of British monarchs? A. Henry, B. Edward, C. George, or D. Charles? Question number 5. Which English football club play their home games at the Priestfield Stadium? Is it A. Stevenage, B. Northampton, C. Gillingham, or D. Plymouth? So which English football club play their home games at the Priestfield Stadium? A. Stevenage, B. Northampton, C. Gillingham, or D. Plymouth? Team, I thought it was, isn't it? I've got it wrong in my head. I hope. Yeah, okay, yeah. Question number 6. How many states were there in the United States before Alaska joined in 1959? Is it A. 45, B. 46, C. 47, or D. 48? So how many states were there in the United States before Alaska joined in 1959? A. 45, B. 46, C. 47, or D. 48? Question number 7. What is the term for a baby koala? Is it A. Arla, B. Joey, C. Smock, or D. Kid? What is the term for a baby koala? A. Arla, B. Joey, C. Smock, can't get my words out properly, or D. Kid? There. Question number 8. How many sheets of paper make a ream of paper? Is it A. 100, B. 250, C. 500, or D. 1000? So how many sheets of paper make a ream of paper? 100, 250, 500, or 1000? There. Question number 9. How many stars are there on the Australian flag? How many stars are there on the Australian flag? Is it A. 6, B. 8, C. 12, C. 10, or D. 12? So how many stars are there on the Australian flag? A. 6, B. 8, C. 10, or D. 12? A moment to think. And final question of this evening, question number 10. Who became the first serving US president to appear on television during a 19 39 broadcast from the World's Fair. And a bonus point if you can give the name of these broadcasts. So is it A, Franklin D. Roosevelt, B, Harry S. Truman, C, Herbert Hoover, or D, Dwight D. Eisenhower? So who was the first serving US president to appear on television during 1939 broadcast from World's Fair? So you get a point for getting the correct president, and then you get a bonus point if you can tell me the name of these broadcasts. I'll give you a moment to think, and that wraps up the quiz for this evening. Let's take a drink. Okay, so answer time. Answers part 2. So the first round I'm going to go through is the food round. Again, just a reminder, shout out on the live chats, whether on Facebook or YouTube or via WhatsApp if you've got a problem or a question or anything like that. So question 1, what food is this? It is of course haggis. So that is a haggis. What a horrible looking thing.
Lovely.
Some may say lovely, I say not so much. Question number 2, what food is this? Now I was hoping that this might be a bit of a trick question, but Adrian got it straight away. It is a battered Mars bar. I thought when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that looks like a battered sausage, but no, it is a battered Mars bar. Question number 3, this dish is a feijoada, or feijoada, I don't know how you say it. It is a national dish of Brazil. Again, it looks relatively tasty. I don't know what's in it.
Rice.
Well, there's rice, of course, but I don't know what the meat is. I like to eat guinea pig over there, so who knows. Question number 4. This dish is called a sheftalia. Which country is it the national dish of? It is a national dish of Cyprus. Question number 5. This is a well-known dish in Liverpool. Quite an easy question. It is, of course, scouse. So this dish is called scouse. Number 6, pelmeni. This is from Russia. This dish is from Russia. Number 7, this dish is from Japan, and it is called sashimi. So it's from Japan and it's called sashimi. Question number 8. What is the name of this well-known dish? It is called Peking duck, or Peking duck, isn't it? Peking duck, not Peking. Peking duck. That is its name. Question 9. Hakal is from Iceland, and it is dried and fermented shark. What a delight! Doesn't that sound delicious? Not at all. So hakal is from Iceland, and it is dried and fermented shark. It looks disgusting. I hope I never have to eat it. Question 10. Most expensive taco in the world. Most expensive food item even. How much do you think you would pay for it? You pay $25,000 for it. What a waste of money. And if you've got anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000, then you can get the mark. What a lot of money for a taco. I think it's got gold in it and all sorts. So that's the end of round 4. So that's marked out of 10, I do believe. Round number 5, the missing link. So we showed you some pictures and you had to guess what the link was between them. So number 1, the link between these two chaps is their name. Brian Oviedo and Brian Clough. So if you get Brian, you get the point. So that is a link between them. Number 2, the link between this lady and this man is their country. This is, of course, Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and this is Ryan Nelson, who played for Blackburn Rovers and I believe was a New Zealand captain, football team captain. Yep. So their link is New Zealand, so if you get New Zealand, you get the point. These two, the link is their name. So this is Jimmy Fallon on my right, your left. He is a TV presenter in America, and this is Fallon Sherrock, who's a darts player, made history this year by getting to, I think, the quarterfinals of the Darts World Championship. The next one, the link between these two again is their name. So this is Craig Brown. He was the Scottish team manager, and this is Father Brown, who's from the TV programme Father Brown. The link between these, so this one maybe wasn't as obvious, I don't know, but the link is that they are both Chinese delicacies. I don't know how, they both look disgusting again, but each to their own. So if you got that they were Chinese delicacies, you get the point. Again, just a reminder, shout out if you have any problems, any questions, or any complaints. Number 6, the link between these two is where they live, the Isle of Man. So this is Trevor Hemmings. He owns Preston North End, amongst other things. He lives on the Isle of Man, and this is a, I forgot the name of it. Is it a Manx cat? A Manx cat, and they're famous because they don't have a tail, and they come from the Isle of Man. So that is the link. The link here is the stadium, the Olympic Stadium. So West Ham United now play at the Olympic Stadium, and of course the Olympics took place there. So the link is the Olympic Stadium. The link between these two chaps is their city, New York. They're both from New York. The guy on the left is a guy called Casey Neistat, quite a famous filmmaker, and I've forgotten the name. I think it's Billy Joel. I think it's Billy Joel on the right. Am I right? No. Yeah. Here. So if you got the link, New York, then you get the point. What is the link between these two? Well, the link is their author, Hergé. So this is of course Tintin, who's probably the most famous creation, and another cartoon that he came up with, Quick and Flupkey. So if you got the link, Hergé, you get the point. The link between these two is their name, Don. So this is Don Williams. He's a country singer from America, and this is Monty Don, the famous gardener. So the link is their name. So again, shout out if you have any problems. Answers for round 6 coming up. So number 1, Tom Cruise plays Ethan Hunt in which movie franchise? He plays him in B, Mission Impossible. The answer is B, Mission Impossible. Question number 2. Which Irish comedian and actor starred in the IT Crowd? It was A, Chris O'Dowd. So the answer is A, Chris O'Dowd. Question number 3. The phrase "let them eat cake" is often wrongly attributed to which Queen of France? It is B, Marie Antoinette. She is wrongly attributed with "let them eat cake." Question number 4. The most common name of British monarchs is A, Henry. So the answer is A, Henry. Question 5. The English football team that plays their home games at the Priestfield Stadium is C, Gillingham. So the answer is C, Gillingham. Question number 6. How many states were there in the United States before Alaska joined? It was 48. So the answer is D, 48. Question number 7. The term for a baby koala is of course a joey. B, joey. Question number 8. How many sheets of paper make a ream of paper? It is 500 pieces. So C, 500. Question number 9. How many stars are on the Australian flag? There are A, 6 stars on the Australian flag. And finally, who became the first serving US president to appear on television? It was A, Franklin D. Roosevelt. So you get a mark if you get Franklin D. Roosevelt, and then you also get a mark if you got Fireside Chats. So 1 mark for Franklin D. Roosevelt and 1 mark for Fireside Chats. So that brings an end to the quiz. That is all the rounds done and all the answers given out. So time for the final scores. Okay, so round 1 is out of 10, round 2 is out of 10, round 3 is out of 15, round 4 is out of 10, round 5 is out of 10, and round 6, I believe, is out of 11. So your total should be out of 66. So while you're totting up those answers, please, once you've done that, pop them in the live chat of either the Facebook or the YouTube or on the Crown Lane WhatsApp group or to me directly, and we'll keep an eye out for those scores. So tot that up and send them in. And whilst we do that, just a few things to share with you before we finish. So first of all, we've just got a short clip to play you, and then we shall move on. So, 2020, it's pretty messed up, right? What with a pandemic, a financial crash, and lockdown, to name a few. This world is lacking hope. This world is pretty weary. This world is pretty messed up. Wouldn't it be good to know someone who could give you hope, who could give you peace? Well, in this season of goodwill to men, why not study the true meaning of Christmas? Join me and study the true meaning of Christmas in this messed up world and meet the King. Well, what a handsome chap that was. I wonder who that could be. So we just wanted to share with you that from Monday we are starting a Bible study series that will be accessible on YouTube and Facebook. So please do watch them. They'll be live on those pages from 3 o'clock on every Monday for the next 6 weeks. So hopefully you can access them, but if you would like to know more, then please do get in touch and let us know. And secondly, here's our public service announcement to you. Stay home, watch the online service and find Jesus for yourself. So that is, stay home, watch the online service and find Jesus for yourself. So please do join us for our online services. They're every Sunday at 10:45, and they're available via our YouTube channel or our Facebook page, but they're also going to be available on the website. You're more than welcome to join us, and we'd love it if you joined with us. And please do ask any questions that you might have. And as well, from this Sunday, we're also going to have a short segment for children that's going to start at about 10:15. And again, that'll be on YouTube and Facebook and the website, I believe. So it's just a short children's talk before the service, and it won't run into the service or anything like that. So if you'd like to watch that, if you've got children that might want to watch that, then have a watch. Well, that's all tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it. I think have I got any scores in? I've got one set of scores in. I don't know if anybody else has sent me them. So if I don't get any more scores in the next 30 seconds, then we're going to crown our winners for this week. But like I say, I hope you've enjoyed the quiz today, tonight even. This will be running for the next 4 weeks at least, certainly whilst we're in lockdown, just something for you to do. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Have we got any more scores in? No, we've got no more scores in. Well, that means we're going to crown our winners. We'll give them another moment to send the scores in. Doesn't look like there's any more. Okay, so well done, Alan and Joanne. You have won the quiz this evening. Thank you everyone for taking part. And we hope you've really enjoyed the quiz this evening. And we hope that you can join us again next week from 6:20, and the quiz starts at 6:30. Thank you and good night.